Well, guys, we just got a pretty major spoiler for Avengers Secret Wars from one of the writers of Marvel. So, we're gonna break down everything that he just talked about in relation to Doctor Doom, Iron Man, a third variant being played by Robert Downey Jr., and what exactly does this all mean for Avengers Secret Wars. So, let's get into it. So once again, before we get into this, I gotta give you all a final spoiler warning. So be warned, spoilers right after this. Okay, now let's get into it. So this comes at us from famous Marvel writer Chris Claremont, who just this past weekend appeared at a comic convention talking about everything that's going on with Marvel, from TV to comics to films, and he was talking about upcoming Marvel Studios projects, and he specifically wanted to talk about Secret Wars. And it's during this piece of conversation and going back and forth with the people that he reveals that Robert Downey Jr. will play multiple characters in Avengers Secret Wars. Okay, so to start, he confirms that Robert Downey Jr. will play Doctor Doom. Now, presumably, this would be the same Doctor Doom from Avengers Doomsday. Now, there is the off chance that they could once again pull a Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, where Thanos is a different Thanos. And for people that don't remember or are still confused, because there's quite a few people, despite them having seen the film, at the end of Infinity War, that Thanos that wins, he goes and retires on his farm. He is then killed off by the Avengers in the opening act of Endgame, and then a replacement comes in, and that's the one we're seeing. So maybe there's something like this that happens in Secret Wars. Maybe it's going to be like the Secret Wars in the comics, where once he does the snap and rebuilds the universe, maybe it's a somewhat different permutation by logistics and jumping through loopholes. Whatever the case is, he will be playing Doctor Doom. And honestly, this makes sense, right? Like, you're going to have to keep Doom more than just for one film, more than just Doomsday. And if you guys have been keeping up with everything that's been said about Doomsday, this is supposed to be a Doctor Doom film through and through. Like, he's the main character. So they're going to do a lot of the legwork to build him up in this and make sure we know what he's all about, since he hasn't had ample time to be built up anywhere outside of this film, which, again, if the writing is good and on point, fine, they can nail it. But now let's get into the second factor here, where he said that he's playing multiple characters. So there's been speculation for a while that he is going to play at least 3 characters: Doctor Doom, one unexpected multiverse variant, and Iron Man. Well, Chris has confirmed that he will in fact play Iron Man once again. So yes, Robert Downey Jr. is back as Iron Man in Avengers Secret Wars. Okay, so this is going to be a controversial one, right? But I think we got to look at the bigger picture. He's not going to be playing the same Iron Man he played in the MCU. Unless they mess with time and space, and they go back to like the events predating his death in Endgame and pluck him out. Even if they do, technically he's still a different one. It's sort of like the Loki scenario, right? Like, we saw Loki and how everything played out in, obviously, the rest of the MCU, with him ultimately becoming a good guy and sacrificing himself. But also we have the other Loki, who ascended to be God King Loki. So this could be a way that maybe if they transplant them through time, we get a different Iron Man technically, or it's going to be a multiverse variant, which honestly I think would make sense if he's just playing a multiverse variant out there that's here to stop Doctor Doom. And then we're going to have Doctor Doom face to face with Iron Man. It's the same face underneath each mask. It kind of brings us all the way back around to the first, Iron Man kicking things off. It kind of reflects on Robert Downey Jr.'s post, you know, what he said after he was cast or returning. So there's something to this. But let's talk about the third potential variant for Doctor Doom, because this to me is the one that's like, wait, hold up. Who could he play? Now, again, Chris didn't confirm this. This was just something that's out there, that there's going to be at least two variants that Robert Downey Jr. is playing. So who could he be playing? Well, they could go for a curveball. They could make him play somebody unexpected. What if Robert Downey Jr. is de-aged and he plays a Peter Parker variant? What if he plays a Captain America variant or a Thor variant? What if it's completely unexpected and we get Iron Man 1602 or something like that? I think we got to consider all the options, and the multiverse is vast. So he could legitimately play anybody out there, including but not limited to characters from the X-Men. Like, who's to say he's not playing a variant of Cyclops? We just don't know, because there's so much to unpack with this whole scenario. And again, this is a writer from Marvel talking about this. So chances are that he's helped them, because we know that they've been bringing in comic book writers to kind of consult and have some input and obviously get credit on things. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, who's playing who, what's happening where, what the bigger, grand scope of this project is in the multiverse. And going all the way back around to just talk a little bit about Iron Man, because this is the one to me that makes sense. I really hope that they do something different with his Iron Man return. I don't want a carbon copy of what he did in the MCU. I don't want Doctor Doom and Secret Wars being like, this is Battle World, and here comes Tony Stark. I'm sorry, Battle World is closed today. I get they love to make people point at the screen, laugh, and clap, and be like, I get that reference, but have you guys seen Alien Romulus? There is such a pointless callback to a Sigourney Weaver line from Aliens that makes no sense in the context of Romulus at all. But sure enough, the theater cheered and clapped and, got excited and pointed at the screen going, that's the thing. It's the thing I know. I hope that they can really show restraint and, get rid of that. But again, who really knows? We're going to have to see how this plays out and how it's all involved and how it all clicks together. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Robert Downey Jr. does as Iron Man again. I just hope that they can show restraint. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will. And if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.